Welcome to my channel, USA Battle Zone. Today's story is one many of you will never forget. It begins in the quiet cabin of a commercial airliner cruising above the clouds. Ordinary passengers, ordinary chatter, the hum of engines. But by the end of this tale, a young girl in seat 7A will become someone the sky itself remembers. Buckle in, let the cabin lights dim, and listen closely. The flight from Denver to Anchorage had climbed smoothly to cruising altitude. Snowcaps glittered far below, untouched wilderness stretching from horizon to horizon. In seat 7A, 12-year-old Maya Hale leaned her head against the cold window, her breath fogging the glass as she stared at the landscape that always made her feel small and safe at the same time. She wasn't traveling for a vacation. She wasn't visiting family. Maya was going home. Her father, Captain Aaron Hale, had been gone for 6 months, deployed overseas, and after endless video calls filled with frozen screens, weak connections, and strong smiles, she was finally heading to see him on base in Alaska. He had promised to meet her at the gate, in uniform, with that grin that always made her run straight into his arms. In her lap she carried a worn pilot helmet, her father's first from flight school. Inside, she kept every letter he'd ever written to her. She opened the helmet and let her fingers brush over the folded papers. Each one smelled faintly of jet fuel and pine, like the forests surrounding their home. Across the aisle, people slept, read, scrolled. The world was peaceful, but peace is fragile, and sometimes the sky has its own battles. 30 minutes later, turbulence rolled through the plane, harmless at first. A bump, then another. Maya lifted her head as the overhead lights flickered. A voice crackled through the intercom. "Ladies and gentlemen, this is your captain. We're entering an unexpected weather cell. Please fasten seatbelts." But when Maya looked outside, the sky wasn't stormy at all. It was clear, too clear. The air shimmered faintly, like heat waves on a road. Then she felt it, a humming vibration deep in her bones, different from the engines. Something was wrong. Passengers exchanged glances. A baby cried. Maya gripped her father's helmet. The plane lurched sharply to the left. Gasps echoed. Trays slid. The cabin shuddered as if something massive had swept past them. Maya pressed her face to the window. And her breath caught. A shadow was circling them, sleek, angular, and unimaginably fast. Another shape followed. Then, with a roar that shook the cabin, 2 fighter jets shot past the cockpit, banking hard into formation. F-22 Raptors. Passengers erupted in noise, fear, confusion, questions firing in every direction. The pilot's voice trembled through the speakers. Folks, it seems we've been intercepted by the United States Air Force. We're attempting to establish communication." Maya's heart pounded. F-22s didn't just escort random planes. Not unless there was a threat, or a misunderstanding, or something the passengers weren't aware of. The jets streaked by again, closer this time, their tails glinting in the sunlight, vapor streaming behind them. Then, a surreal thing happened. One jet tilted its wing directly at Maya's window, almost like it was looking at her. The radio in the cockpit blasted loudly enough for the first few rows to hear. "Commercial Flight 482, this is Raptor lead of the United States Air Force. We are identifying a signal emit coming from your aircraft. Requesting immediate passenger manifest confirmation." People whispered. "A signal? What signal?" The captain responded nervously. "Raptor lead, this is Flight 482. We have 137 passengers on board. No known distress beacons or military personnel. Active." A pause. Static. Then the reply came. "That is incorrect, 482. We are tracking a military encrypted beacon registered to call sign, Firefly." The cabin fell absolutely silent. Maya froze. Firefly. Her father's nickname for her. Her father's call sign for her. Years ago, he'd carved a tiny chip inside his old pilot helmet, an emergency locator, coded to his personal system. He'd told her it didn't work anymore. He was wrong. Before she could even think, the jet outside dipped again, as if saluting her. The radio crackled. "Firefly, if you can hear this, we're coming to you." Passengers stared at one another, at her row, at the captain who now stood outside the cockpit, pale as paper. Seat 7A. A kid with a beacon no civilian child should ever have. "Sweetheart," a flight attendant whispered gently, kneeling beside her, the military needs to speak with you. Is there something you have with you that might belong to your father? Maya swallowed hard. Her pulse hammered. She lifted the helmet. The attendant's eyes widened. Moments later the cockpit crew gathered around her seat as turbulence rocked the plane again. Maya explained everything. Her dad's deployment, the helmet, the hidden chip she never knew was still active. The co-pilot held the helmet like it was made of glass. "This is military grade," he murmured. "It must be broadcasting." A flight attendant radioed the cockpit. The captain listened, then turned to Maya. "Firefly," he said softly, trying to smile. "Failing, the Air Force wants to talk to you directly." A speaker hissed. The entire cabin leaned in. "Firefly, this is Raptor Lead. Do you read me?" Maya lifted the radio handset with trembling fingers. This is Maya Hale," she whispered. "My dad is Captain Aaron Hale." The helmet wasn't supposed to be on. The reply was immediate. "Firefly, your father is on Mission Black Ridge, currently classified. His unit signaled distress 30 minutes ago. We detected his personal beacon, your beacon. Are you in danger?" The words slammed into her. Her father. Distress. Maya's breathing faltered. She clutched the radio. "No, I'm fine. I'm on a plane. But my dad, what happened? Is he okay?" There was a pause, heavy with the sound of jets roaring outside. "Firefly, we don't know. We're trying to locate him. Your signal is the only thing we have." Maya felt her throat close. Around her, passengers sat motionless, the weight of the sky pressing down on all of them. "But why would his signal be coming from me?" Raptor Lead exhaled. "Because, Firefly, he encoded his last resort distress key to you. If anything happened to him, anything at all, the system would default to the person he trusted most. The person he believed would sound the alarm." Maya's eyes stung. Her father, always thinking of her, always protecting her, even now. The pilot spoke urgently into the radio. "Raptor Lead, do we need to divert?" "Negative," the response came. "But we cannot lose the signal. Firefly, we need you to hold that helmet steady. Whatever it's transmitting is guiding our search for your father." Maya swallowed hard and nodded, even though they couldn't see her. "I can do that." Passengers around her placed hands over their hearts. A man offered his jacket. A woman whispered that she'd pray for her father. Maya held the helmet close, pressing her cheek against its cool surface. Her father had flown fighters, had survived storms, combat, disaster. He was strong. He had to be alive. Outside, the F-22s tightened formation, one above the plane, one below, like guardian angels forged from metal and fire. Minutes crawled by, each one heavier than the last. Then, another transmission. "Firefly, this is Raptor 2, we picked up a secondary ping. It's weak, but it's your father's locator." Maya's heart leapt. "Where is he? Is he hurt? Is he?" "We don't know yet," Raptor Lead interrupted gently. "But we're closing in. If you're willing, we'd like you to speak." "Speak to your father." Sometimes, injured pilots respond to familiar voices. Maya bit her lip hard. The cabin hushed. She pressed the radio near her mouth. "Dad, it's me. It's Firefly. If you can hear me, I need you. I'm coming home, okay? You promised you'd meet me at the gate. I'm holding your helmet right now. The one you said was too heavy for me." Her voice cracked. "You have to be okay. I still have so much to tell you." Static. Then, a faint, broken transmission. Quote. "Fly. Firefly." The plane exploded into gasps and tears. Maya's knees buckled. She clung to the seat. Dad, I'm here." The voice came again. Weak, strained, barely human. "Fly, hold on." Raptor Lead cut in sharply. "We have him. Coordinates locked. All units, move." The fighters roared away from the plane, disappearing in a flash, slicing through clouds at impossible speed. Maya closed her eyes. He was alive. He was breathing. He had heard her. For the next 20 minutes, the passengers of Flight 482 sat in collective silence, all eyes on the sky where the F-22s had vanished. The pilot kept the cabin calm, though his hands shook on the yoke. Finally, the radio beeped again. "Firefly, this is Raptor Lead. Your father has been recovered." Maya's breath caught. "He's alive," the voice continued. "Injured but stable. He's asking, actually, demanding, to speak with you. Maya's tears streamed unchecked as the pilot handed her the radio. Then she heard it. Her father's voice. Hoarse, faint, but unmistakably him. Firefly. You did it. My girl. She pressed the helmet to her chest, sobbing. I thought I lost you, she whispered. You can't lose me, he coughed lightly. Not when I still have to walk you to your first day of high school. The cabin laughed softly through tears. I love you, Dad, she whispered. I love you more. Hold on to that helmet for me. I'll be waiting, at the gate, just like I promised. By the time the plane touched down in Anchorage, night had fallen, blue and gold streaks painting the horizon. Emergency lights lined the runway. News vans clustered in the distance. But none of that mattered. What mattered was the figure waiting by the arrival's door, wrapped in bandages, leaning on a crutch, but standing tall the moment the passengers emerged. Captain Aaron Hale. Maya broke into a run. He dropped his crutch and caught her with both arms, lifting her off the ground as she cried into his shoulder. The entire terminal applauded. He kissed the top of her head. My Firefly, he whispered. You scared me, she hiccuped. You saved me. His voice cracked. You saved my life. And somewhere high above the airport, two F-22s streaked through the sky, silent guardians, invisible to most, but not to the girl who would forever carry the call sign they had spoken to. Firefly. Thank you for watching this cinematic and emotional story on USA Battle Zone. If this story touched your heart, if you felt the sky tighten around you, if you held your breath with Maya, then like, comment, and subscribe for more powerful stories just like this.